Well, hey, I'm Jeff Baumgartner with Light Reading. We're here in Washington, D.C. at TechExpo 25, and I'm pleased to be joined by Marc Cohen.
Hey, Jeff, how are you?
Digital. Good. And Chris Griffiths with Plume. How are you guys?
Doing well.
Okay.
Good to see you at the show. So, Marc, we're going to start with some questions for you.
Okay.
And in the past, when we talked, this video was where we kind of started things.
Yeah.
But you guys have moved into the broadband market. So talk a little bit about the role of the company in broadband right now.
Yeah, I think, Jeff, really what it comes down to is as the market has evolved and our customers' needs have evolved, we're in the business of listening to our customers and making sure that we're providing unique business solutions to meet their needs. So one of the things that was glaring was managed Wi-Fi. It was very important to make sure that there was managed Wi-Fi in the home to do a plethora of things that we can sit here and talk for an hour about. Everyone who's going to see this knows what that is. And when we look to get into this part of the business, we could manufacture devices. That's something we do well, but we needed the right partner, and that right partner it was Plume. And we have had a very robust partnership and work very well together, and we're having great success in the marketplace.
Yeah, so talk a little bit more about that partnership and kind of how that helps to scale broadband.
Well, so for us, we have so much business today with multiple operators on the video side, having our device business on the Wi-Fi side, bundling that together, and now being able to bundle the create a CapEx model and bundle together the license fees on top of that. It's just way more advantageous to the customer and for us, and we grow and scale much faster that way.
Well, what do you mean? Yeah, you mentioned CapEx model. Explain that.
All of our devices come with a Plume license on it. So operators are able to grow at scale, right? So they can grow as they grow and pay as they grow instead of paying a big license fee up front and worrying about utilizing all those licenses in a whatever period of time that is.
Okay, and then Chris, I got questions for you. So talk a little bit about Plume's role, right? We talked a little bit about the partnership, but talk about the company right now and maybe what's next for Plume.
Yeah, definitely. So, we've obviously built, a heavy focus on building out Wi-Fi and doing mesh and other components and helping, partners like Evolution Digital deliver those capabilities to all the ISP partners that we have. But for us, we're really looking at how do we deliver the next capabilities? How do we deliver on things like automated care, automated self-healing networks and services? Those are the kind of things that we're looking at building as the next phase of the company. And as we improve not only the capabilities on the mesh Wi-Fi and other pieces of that, we're also looking at improving how does the customer deploy the devices intelligently in their home? How does it scale? How does it work? And how does it work really well so that they don't have dead spots in their homes? They don't have issues with those. So those are really the cool new things that we're really starting to focus and build on.
All right. And when I was talking to Marc here about the partnership, can you expand a little bit on Plume's role in the partnership and how the role that you're playing is helping with the broadband customer experience?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we work with folks like Evolution Digital on not only building the software on the gateways and the pods and other pieces in the home, so to build a mesh network, but also how do we control those devices? How do we identify devices in the home so that you have a unique and interesting experience when you turn on these devices, right? So, what kind of TV do you have? How can you protect the home? How can you do advanced parental controls and other pieces like that? So we enable those advanced services and make them seamless for the customer when they buy and integrate the devices that they supply.
Yeah, one of the things too is since we're deploying in mass a bunch of Wi-Fi enabled set-top boxes, for operators to be able to sell a guaranteed quality level of service, utilizing Plume and this partnership allows us to really know that the end user is going to be able to use the devices that we sell. And from a partnership standpoint, from a sales perspective, the Evolution sales team and the Plume sales team, and that combined knowledge of the market and the needs of the market, we can bring that feedback back to our teams and create those unique solutions needed for the Plume engineering group to then go to work and get things done.
Okay. And one quick question on kind of what's on the horizon. I mean, what are some of the broader trends you see coming, in Wi-Fi and service innovation?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one of the really cool things that we're starting to look at is how do we incorporate AI into our platforms, right? So how do we solve problems with AI? We get all this information from the home, and we want to be able to build really intelligent services that help you, as an example, ask your local interface or speaker, hey, my Wi-Fi is running slow, can you fix it? Well, we're building the next advances in that so that you can ask and automate and even self-heal the networks. So that way, customers don't experience outages or issues. We're really working on how do we build those innovations into the platform so that they become seamless and incorporated in our platform.
Yeah, well, and that seems like a kind of a broader trend too that we're even seeing at this event, where speeds and feeds are always something that's will always be important, but everyone seems to be focused on reliability.
Yes.
And some of the things you were talking about. So yeah, so AI is a pretty good tool for that. All right. Well, good. Well, I think that's where we're going to wrap up, and then I think we're going to transition to a discussion with your CEO, Dan. Okay, well, Dan, we're here, DC TechExpo. You've been in the role at Plume for how long?
About 5 months now.
5 months? Okay. Talk a little bit about...
I'm a veteran at this point.
Yeah, 5 months, yeah. I mean, you've had a chance to look around the business, talk to everybody, talk to customers. So now that you're at this point, what are your top priorities, and talk a little bit about the vision you have for the company?
So when I first came on board, the most important thing I heard from customers was Plume had to be easier to do business with. Remove friction from the way we operate, the way we support our carriers. I think we are well on our way to do that. And now that I've had a chance to step back and look beyond that, look for how I'm going to help ISPs differentiate their services, what my focus is all about consumer experience. We at Plume believe that we can enable the ISP to compete in the market on customer experience. Move beyond speed, price, features, and move more towards how do I deliver a holistic, world-class customer experience, and use that as a differentiator, use that as a competitive advantage. From the moment you purchase the product and onboard, to how we maintain and support the network in the home, how we proactively monitor solutions, and inevitably when something goes wrong, how we help consumers solve that either through self-service or through assistance with the ISP. So the vision that we have is to create a customer experience value proposition for the ISP. Obviously that takes data and AI agents and lots of interesting technology, but the North Star is how does the ISP compete with customer experience as a competitive advantage.
Okay, and change doesn't happen overnight.
Of course.
Right, so you're out there talking to customers, talking to your own team. How has that message resonated so far here, 5 months into it?
It's been received. I mean, look, ISPs are facing the most competitive landscape they've had in a decade.
Sure.
And at the same time, they have pressure on OpEx and spend. So how do I reconcile sort of all this pressure on gaining customers with this pressure to sort of reduce cost and become more profitable? And all of them unequivocally across the board have rallied around this customer experience message. While they want to focus on the latest features and capabilities, but they want it to ladder up into or eventually deliver on this customer experience concept. Yeah. I think the part that most resonates with them is sort of when something goes wrong, how do I create a great repair experience for the customer? How do I help them self-service? How do I help them have a live chat experience, et cetera? And how do I incorporate AI and other data that you, Plume, have in the home to make that experience great? But if we bring it back from care and into proactive monitoring and into the self-install and into network setup, I think we can really differentiate here.
Okay, and when we were talking to Chris, we talked a little bit about what comes after Wi-Fi or the vision for Wi-Fi. He talked about AI. So, as you look beyond Wi-Fi, even though that's how everybody connects at home, what do you think is kind of on the horizon there?
It remains, I mean, not to be repetitive, but it remains consistent. So Wi-Fi is the access technology. Mm-hmm. And yes, Plume continues to deliver, a world-class bulletproof Wi-Fi connectivity experience, but that's just a small component. And in fact, technology as a whole is a small component of what we do. We have to put our understanding, our feet in the shoes of the customer and understand their pain points along the experience and use what we know to solve their problem, to set up the network in a bulletproof way, to connect all the devices, to monitor the network in a proactive way, to create a cyber profile that is protecting the customer at every step of the way, to create an omni-channel support experience so they have, regardless of the way they want to connect with the ISP, they can connect. To me, that is the secret sauce. It's well beyond just Wi-Fi, although Wi-Fi is a critical component, especially as we go from Wi-Fi 7 to Wi-Fi 8 and beyond. It's going to be a critical access technology. It continues to be so. I think putting your vision in the customer experience first is what will differentiate us in the long term.
All right, very good. Well, it's good to catch up with you here at the show.
Good to catch up with you too.
Have a good rest of your show.
Thank you.
All right.